Kia ora, g'day, I'm Philip Duncan from Weather Watch TV on YouTube with your Australia-only forecast through until Monday, and it's good to be back after a couple of days off. Let's have a look and see what is happening on the wind map, wind and air pressure. So you're not seeing a huge amount of windy weather around the nation at the moment. That'll be a relief, especially around parts of southeast Queensland and New South Wales. There is still a bit of an easterly flow, and you can just see here around parts of Queensland going into New South Wales, there is this low pressure system partially left over from Alfred, and those easterly winds carry all the way over to Western Australia where there's more sinking low pressure. There's another low south of Adelaide, sadly not bringing in very much wet weather, but there is some chance of some heavy showers coming up this week in the south to southeast of the country, and another big high pressure zone near Tasmania. That's why the windiest zone here is pushing through Bass Strait, but it's going the other way. Often we expect Bass Strait to be full of windy westerlies. Now it's windy easterlies. So let's have a look at the 7-day departure from normal rainfall map, and you can certainly still see rain that is falling at the moment from Cyclone Alfred, the leftovers of that ex-cyclone, still driving in plenty of showers and easterlies out of the Tasman Sea. Although I've got to say, most of that showery weather is being driven by a high pressure zone out here in the Tasman that's moving towards the top of New Zealand. That's pushing in easterlies and northeasterlies and all those showers and some severe thunderstorms as well. So this map is a pretty good one considering how dry it's been. We're not seeing as much in the way of red. You know, the other day, this map, the red that you see here around Alice Springs or on the south, the whole map was red with just a little blips here and there. Now we're seeing a fair amount of showery weather across the nation, and I think particularly around Victoria and South Australia, we are seeing some relief, obviously around New South Wales, although not so much in the central southern parts of New South Wales. So let's have a look at that forecast. This is 24 hours of rainfall leading up towards the end of Wednesday. So from the end of Tuesday to the end of Wednesday, basically, daytime wise. And you can see plenty of showers around Queensland, the tropical part, but also much further down after Alfred moved on through. So thunderstorms in the mix as well. Probably not too many in the way of severe thunderstorms, but there are certainly the chance of a severe thunderstorm or two. In fact, the chance of a severe thunderstorm may be further to the south around Victoria. Very good news for dry parts of Victoria if you need the rain. If you're harvesting your grapes at the moment, you don't want it to rain. So we're trying to find which ones want rain and which ones don't. It can be hard to please everybody. But there are some showers coming through, and as they go through Wednesday night, Thursday, they're tracking eastwards. They might move into Melbourne and surrounding areas. So a chance of some wet weather into Victoria going through to Wednesday. Also with Tasmania, low pressure right next door to you there, driving in some wet weather. So there we go. There is some showery weather into these very dry eastern parts of Australia. Let's jump to the other side now, up in the tropics, Northern Territory. Yes, a few thunderstorms, maybe severe, around Darwin and Katherine. It's been remarkably quiet up there for the past few months. Tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me very quiet around the top of Australia. But look at Western Australia, plenty of low pressure around Western Australia from the Pilbara all the way down to the southwest. We've got low pressure. That means you're going to be seeing these showers coming through. Obviously the heat pushing down to Esperance and Kalgoorlie, especially on Wednesday. A little bit of temperature relief over in Perth and the southwest. There's some good news for you. But elsewhere, we've got showers along that coastal part of Western Australia. In fact, look at Thursday, a little bit interesting, bit of convergence in here where the airflows meet up and push up the clouds. So we're seeing some heavy falls around some areas, maybe Karratha getting some of those heavy showers. They're isolated though, the heaviest parts of it, but you can see a line of convergence merging in with that low pressure here, just a perfect area to be producing some showers into the forecast. Good luck, Perth. You got some chance of wet weather this week. I know it's been very dry for you lately. Elsewhere though, not so dramatic on Thursday around the tropics. We do have plenty of showers. Some of those showers could be severe thunderstorms, but they are in the most remote parts of those areas. Still got some showers moving down along the coastal parts of Queensland, going into New South Wales. Not very much though in the southeast of Queensland and the northeast of New South Wales following Cyclone Alfred. There is some good news for you. Things are going to get better. I know it's been a slow ending to the wet weather after Alfred, and it will continue with these showers, but the amount of wet weather that is falling from the sky is not as much now. That is the good news. And we've also got those thunderstorms I just mentioned before, tracking from west to east across Victoria over Wednesday and Thursday. Hopefully Melbourne and all the surrounds get some wet weather, then it moves further to the east. And I say hopefully for those that need rain. If you don't want rain, that's an indoors day maybe for you. But some rain relief coming through into the east as we go through the week. So by Friday, the east is drier and hotter. Following that system moving through, the red line that measures the air thickness, and just keep it simple, north of that red line is tropical weather. So that's the tropical heat. So that is pushing down right across a large portion of Australia as we end the week. So that means temperatures in the east, Sydney, Canberra, Melbourne, and everyone in between, seeing those temperatures rocketing up, 30, 35, 38 degrees in many places, and over 40 degrees possible through inland areas as that heat pushes out. Across South Australia as well. Not so hot though for the southwestern and southern parts of Western Australia, but Esperance, you could be seeing some heavy thundery downpours coming through, and Perth southwards, a similar story. So that is some good news for those very dry farming communities. We do see some rain on the way for you. But look at the Northern Territory and look at Queensland and the tropical parts of Western Australia. Not a lot of activity up there. Those thunderstorms are very isolated. We do see a few more here around Cairns to Townsville as we go through Friday, and the showers all along that eastern side are fairly isolated going towards the end of the week. Let's go into the weekend. So we've got a really big high pressure zone south of Western Australia. That placement of high pressure south of you, along with low pressure up here in the tropics, up around the Kimberley and the Pilbara, that makes for a squash zone where the air pressure gets squeezed through. And that's what you're seeing all around this enormous mountain of high pressure, because that's what it is. It's a big dome or a mountain of high pressure in the atmosphere. So around the eastern side of it, that dredges up the colder airflow. So you see the blue line. Red line, tropical air inside that one. Blue line, Antarctic air inside that. So this is a colder change coming through. Subantarctic temperatures are about to move into the Tasmania region. That will arrive perhaps later on Sunday. Before it arrives, it should be quite warm. Now the windy weather in that squash zone goes all the way from Victoria, where you've got a windy southerly, to South Australia, where you've got a windy southeasterly, to Western Australia, where you've got a windy to gale force easterly. And that of course means if you live on the western side, up go the temperatures, especially closer to the hills where the wind comes down them very quickly. That lifts up the temperature as it does that, as it drops down in altitude. So you're going to be seeing some pretty high temperatures moving back in again after a slight temperature drop this week around the western side of Australia. And on the other side, the other thing is going on. We've got all this heat pushing out around Sydney, around New South Wales, and going up closer towards Queensland. That's a hot nor'wester coming through for you. And by Monday of next week, that big high south of Aussie, still there, moving along, pushing in towards Tasmania. So windy weather north of it from the very southeastern corner, that border between New South Wales and Victoria on the Tasman Sea. From that point all the way over to Western Australia, windy conditions, dry, windy weather for most places. The wettest weather is in Victoria, mostly in the southeastern side, mainly east of about Melbourne. West of that, the showers are a lot more hit and miss. And you do still see showers up here around northern parts of New South Wales, all the way down the coastline, brought in off the Tasman Sea. And some of those might then bubble up into afternoon thunderstorms around the ranges. Otherwise, it is a dry, windy, hot forecast for many places, or warm to hot. The hottest weather, though, will be north of the red line, and that's where we do see a little more tropical energy. In fact, Broome could be seeing some thunderstorms. I know you're often in that sort of rain shadow. You could be seeing some thunderstorms around your area as we go into Monday, and a similar story on the other side in the tropics in Queensland, Townsville area northwards. You could be seeing some heavy thunderstorms coming up there, potentially some severe thunderstorms are in the mix. So that is the big picture. Look at the Southern Ocean. Stormy kind of stuff down there. Some signs of autumn. You're feeling that with those temperature changes coming in, but we're still seeing plenty of heat as well. So rain relief hit and miss, but we do have some rain relief coming this week, which is a nice change from previous weeks. Hopefully those that need rain get it, and those that don't want any more rain don't get it. We'll see how it all lands later this week. Our next update will be on Thursday. We'll see you then.